Hey guys, Movie Junkie for Life here, and this is going to be my review for War for the Planet of the Apes. And this is the third movie in a trilogy of films we've gotten recently based on the old Planet of the Apes movie. Here, the apes have suffered massive losses. They are hiding out in the woods, and the humans themselves are basically on their last leg. So we have a final battle that's going to be taking place here, and Caesar, the leader of the monkeys, of the primates, he has suffered personal losses that have him fighting against his darker urges, and he has to weigh what is more important: the survival of his species or his personal vengeance. So let's get into it. This series of movies, if anybody had told me that the Planet of the Apes would be some of the best movies I've ever seen, I would tell them to go themselves, right? I'm censoring myself, I'm not saying it. Because who would have thought that a movie that is basically starring monkeys, not real monkeys, it's CGI, but primates, would tug at your heart emotionally the way these films have from the beginning, from the first one. And it's just gotten stronger since Dawn. We had Rise of the Planet of the Apes, then we had Dawn, and now we're at War. And while the last film for me felt almost like a Shakespearean play, with Caesar and his son and their battle of wills, and Koba and his corruption, all of it felt very Shakespearean to me, that last one. And I think I even remember saying in my review for that movie that it felt like I was watching Hamlet with apes. Here we have something similar, but it's its own thing, in that this movie, this story, feels more like one of those old war films from the 70s, you know, or the 80s. I'm not sure where they would fall, but for me it felt like Platoon, Apocalypse Now. I also got a sense to me like Tears of the Sun, which is one of my more recent and one of my more favorite war films. This movie felt like that. Even the whole first half, I remember watching the first 15 minutes and feeling like this was an old war film, you know, with the, I don't want to get into too much details, you know, but it's based in the jungle, that first fight scene, action sequence I should say. And I think the director, he said that he looked at the movie The Bridge Over River Kwai for inspiration on this film, and you do get that sense of those old-timey war flicks when you watch this movie. The voice acting, it is just so unfair to me that Andy Serkis can't win a Best Actor award for playing Caesar, because he is Caesar. I am sorry, but anybody who says they watch these movies and the CGI is distracting is lying. The CGI is in this film is near flawless, and the emotions of these actors, what they manage to bring through in these characters, get you so invested that you forget that these are animals that you're looking at. I mean, these movies make me feel bad to be human, because, you know, we do have a minor human characters in this that tend to be good, you know, but the story of course follows Caesar's struggle and his people's struggle, you know. So there's a lot of metaphor in this one, you know, for the atrocities of war and for the way more modern developed, you know, societies seem to look at, you know, people that they deem less or primitive, and all these sorts of things, going back from the beginning of time through all of the horrible things that have happened in the history of man. This is how we, you know, as human beings, the strongest survives, that sort of thing. And Caesar, he's having his own personal struggle in this movie, because he's starting to let that dark element of vengeance and revenge and these sorts of things invade him, you know. And this is what happened to Koba. This is what destroyed Koba. And Caesar, being a leader of his people, he's struggling with that. So I loved the voice acting from everybody. Steve Zahn blew me away as Bad Ape. He was just he brought me to tears. I cried a lot for this movie, and I don't cry for movies. This movie packed an emotional punch. Nearly every other scene, it just holds you from beginning to end. And Woody Harrelson here is one of our he's our main antagonist. He is just there are no words. He makes for a good villain in other films, but here he was on a different level. He so believes in the things he's saying and the things he's doing. It's complete insanity, but yet you kind of understand where he's coming from, which just goes to show there's no such thing as black and white. Like I said, guys, so the visuals here are flawless. From scene to scene, we get desert scenes, we get forest, we get snow, and it's all so well done. You feel immersed in every scene, in every location. Everything feels authentic. I really don't know what was green screen and what wasn't. It just flowed really well. Everything was eye-catching. I have to see this movie again, because I feel like there's so much to take in when you're watching this movie. If I have any flaws with this movie, is that the middle act does drag a tad. There are moments where I wish they could have tightened up on the editing and maybe paced things a little faster. There was also a side note character, a human character, where something happened with him, and I won't get into it. He and Caesar meets in the beginning of the movie and again in the middle and the end. I won't get into it too much, but I just felt like not enough maybe was done with that whole thing. I understand why it was done. I understand that it's almost a mirror to the donkey character. When you see him, he's a giant red gorilla that they call Donkey. So we get to see both aspects of that. I apologize if you're hearing any noise in the background. My kittens are going crazy. Yeah, so I just felt with that character that he didn't really serve much of a purpose, and that whole story arc with him really didn't feel like it concluded properly. Or I mean, I loved how it ended. You know, I love when people get what they deserve, but I don't know, something about that just felt a little off to me, a little weak. But overall, this movie is a fantastic conclusion to the Planet of the Apes films. I was actually telling my boyfriend that I hope this is the last one, because it's so well done. These films have just gotten stronger and stronger, and this journey, I feel they just should stop. It's perfect. Please don't just, you know, okay, it makes a bunch of money, so we're gonna do another one. I just feel like this story has been told. We got our beginning with Rise, our middle with Dawn, and now our ending with War, and it's a satisfying one. Well acted, strong story, strong visuals, wonderful soundtrack, wonderful score, well directed, applause all the way around for this movie. So I just feel like they should end it. And I'm gonna give War for the Planet of the Apes a 9 out of 10. This is by far one of the best films I've seen for 2017. And I think I'll probably talk about it again in length when I go through my best movies of the year listing. But this is a definite must-see. And I'll say this too. You can see this movie even if you haven't seen the other two movies prior to this one. That's how well done it is. Of course, it works better if you've connected with these characters through the two previous films. But this movie is really well done. If you have a friend or a loved one or whoever and they say, well, I can't go see this movie because I didn't see the other two, trust me, you can enjoy this movie as its own story without ever seeing the first two films, and it still works. That's how good it is. So thank you, Matt Reeves. Thank you everybody involved with this movie. I'm giving it a 9 out of 10. And that's going to be it for me, guys. I think I could gush on and on about this movie, so I need to shut up and say until next time, bye-bye.